Welcome back to Mystical Heart Tarot Readings. This is going to be a pick a pile, and what we're going to look at is this is just going to be something in general, what we can look forward to in the new year. What's the new year going to bring? What's the new year going to bring? And this is just an overall view of what the new year is going to bring. And we're going to start out with this pile. We're going to set these piles up together. These cards have already been shuffled. So let's start with, I can only do 3 piles. I don't have enough room for any more than 3. That's one right there. That's one. And we're going to take this one. Move these out of the way. All right, we're going to see what each one of these piles are. Starting with pile number 1, the Aspirant, ambition, diligence, and setbacks. We have a set of keys here too. And it looks like somebody's offering the keys to somebody. Pile number 2, the Herald, small regrets and longing. Here we have the moon, we have the rabbit, and we have all kind of snakes here. The rabbit appears to be, and there's what some people refer to as the evil eye. It's technically there to protect you against an evil eye. And the rabbit seems to be on the run. And pile number 3, the musician, inspiration, gratitude. So we have a moon here, and this appears to be an instrument known as the lute. All right. I'm going to add crystals. Yeah, we're going to add crystals. So the crystal for pile number 1 is called Epidote. And this is what Epidote looks like. Pile number 2, if I can pick it up, is Amazonite. This is what Amazonite looks like. And pile number 3 is Kambaba Jasper. And this is what Kambaba Jasper looks like. And I'll tell you what they mean at the end of each reading. All right, let's get the cards set up for these piles. Try to move them. I want you to be able to see them. I'm trying to keep them out of the way as I get the other cards out. All right. Let's start with this pile. Pull one card out for each pile. There's one for pile number 1. I'll make that one pile number 2. I'll make this one pile number 3. And next we will pull from this deck. Usually I start with this deck, but today I decided to change it up a little bit. Now, one there. And one there. Now we'll move to, if I can pick them up, this pile. That one really wanted to jump out. Oh, we got 2 on that one. And pile number 3. And then for the last of the Oracle cards, all right, that's the last of the Oracle cards. Now we will move on to the tarot cards. And like I said, these are all been shuffled ahead of time. All right, I'm going to pull 3 from this deck and 3 from the other deck for each pile. You really wanted to come out. We'll go with the process. And now the last tarot deck. This one wanted to come out, and I'll go ahead and add it. Make sure you can see them. All right. Take a minute to look at these piles. If you choose to pick with a card or if you choose to pick with a crystal, take a minute to look at them. Just know that you can be drawn to more than one pile, and that is okay. That's perfectly fine. In a minute here, I'm going to pull out 4 astrology signs for each pile, but I'm going to give you a minute in case you don't want to go by your astrology sign. I'm going to put the timestamps. The timestamps for these will be in the description under the video. So when the video is out, look under the More section, and the timestamps should be in the description box. So I'm going to timestamp when I pull the astrology signs out. If you are want to do it with the astrology signs, you can go there and watch the process of me pulling the astrology out. Otherwise, you can just go to your pile number that you so choose. And as I said, you can be drawn to more than one pile. You can be drawn to 2, or you can be drawn to all 3, and that's perfectly fine. So I'm getting ready to pull out the astrology signs. Mix these astrology signs up really good. I need a different bag. I think I need one a little bit bigger, but this will work until I can get one. All right. So I'm going to use my non-dominant hand and pull out 4 astrology signs for each pile. There's 2. Let me get 2 more. Those 2 want to come together. Okay. So for pile number 1, we have Cancer, Aries, Sagittarius, and Libra. Now for pile number 2, I got 4 all at one same time. We've got Capricorn, Gemini, Pisces, and Virgo. And last but not least, put this up, we have Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, and Leo. So take a minute, and there's your astrology signs. And we're going to get started here in just a minute. Let me put these up here, because I got to move these out of the way, because we're going to get started. We're going to start with pile number 1. And pile number 1. Just know that if you chose this pile and these are not your signs, that's perfectly okay. We have Cancer, Aries, Sagittarius, Libra. Just know that the energies from these signs will be in the reading. So I'm going to move these out of the way. So that we can get this reading done. So let's start over here with the Aspirant. And let's get the tarot cards out of the way and have a look at what other oracle cards you have. I'm trying to make sure that these cards are in the picture so that you can see them. So we have also flexibility. We have flexibility here with the Aspirant. We also have key. Oh, look at this. Key. And the Aspirant. Look on the Aspirant. Key. Lock and unlock. Interesting. The Aspirant. Ambition, diligence, setbacks. And then we pull out the key. How interesting. Very interesting. And then we have flexibility down here. I don't know where I'm going to put all these cards because this pile ended up with 2 of these. We have leaving, new horizons to be sought. And we have peace. And happiness. Well, this is interesting. Leaving. Sometimes we have keys. We use keys when we leave because when we leave our home, we use a key to lock our door. Or we can use a key to lock our door. We use a key to start our vehicle when we're leaving to go somewhere. Leaving, maybe we're being flexible on where we're going to. Going somewhere that brings us peace and happiness. Going somewhere that brings us peace and happiness. Let's look at the tarot cards here. These ones. We have the Queen of Wands. Page of Swords. Let's see, I need to move this card over a little bit so that I can make room for this last tarot card here. Lovers. Ooh, hang on 1 second. All right. And now let's see the rest of them. We have the Sun in reverse, King of Pentacles in reverse, and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So what we're looking at here is, what is this new year gonna bring us? And this is just a general overall view at the next year. It looks like somebody may be taking a trip. Maybe somebody's leaving. We've got the Lover's card here. Maybe somebody's leaving. So with the Queen of Wands, the Queen is all about sincerity. She's also about being nurturing. She's also independent. The Queen is also independent. And I feel there's somebody that is prepared to move forward. Perhaps somebody is leaving to go to college to get an education. And maybe they have to be flexible as to where they go when they leave. And maybe they are having to choose between a relationship with another person and their education. So the Queen of Wands, who is sincere and nurturing, is feeling burned out. This person is feeling burned out. The King of Pentacles is not committed to helping this person decide on perhaps where they want to go. Maybe to start this new education. And then maybe one of these two feel like they don't want to start new. They don't want a new start. We have to be flexible here. Somebody's got to be flexible in order for there to be peace and happiness. Because somebody is going to leave. They have new horizons. Those new horizons may not involve a person they're in some type of a relationship with. And the key to happiness and to peace is being flexible. The key to happiness is being flexible. So somebody is not wanting to start something new. They don't want to have to make this choice. And here, this person is prepared to make that choice. They're prepared to move on, to gain an education. However, gaining they're not gaining any wisdom from somebody when it comes to making the choice of moving on and going to college or staying in a relationship. And this person, although they want to be nurturing and they are sincere, is feeling burned out. This person has the ambition to move on. They have the ambition to move on. They have the ambition to leave and seek out those new horizons. But this person's also being flexible as well. I feel this person is being flexible because they want peace and happiness. They want nothing more than to have peace and happiness in their life. Even though this person desires to leave and maybe further the one possibility is to further their education or to further their knowledge, but they're also flexible as well. The key to success is being flexible. Flexibility brings in peace and happiness. The crystal I chose, like I say every time I do pick a pile, I choose crystals and I just set them randomly. So I have no idea because I can't remember what the crystals all are useful for. So this particular crystal for pile number 1 is Epidote. It brings awareness and spiritual growth. Awareness and spiritual growth. All right, pile number 1. Looks like somebody's taking a trip, perhaps. All right, we're going to move on now. If I can move these cards out of the way. Pile number 2. So if you chose pile number 2, let me get it up here. With your astrology signs, we have Capricorn, Gemini, Pisces, and Virgo. If you did not choose using astrology, just know that the energy of these signs will most likely come out in this reading. And if you chose by the crystal, let me get these signs out of the way. I'm limited on space. I apologize. If you chose according to the crystal, the crystal is Amazonite. If you chose according to the card, if you were drawn to the card itself, the Herald, small regrets and longing. Small regrets and longing. Oh, you can't see that card over there. Put your crystal up there. All right. Let's get these out of the way. All right. Let's see what we got here. Diligence. And we've got the eye. Oh, look at this. We have an eye here, and we have the eye. Eye and eye. Wow. Something similar like that happened in pile number 1 if you were drawn to pile number 1. There was a similarity to that. This eye says envy and protection. Wow. Oh, this goes over here. And let's look at this one. Dark path, learning from your mistakes. And that goes with small regrets and longing. Let's see what we have here. Anger. Oh, and look, that looks like another eye. Wow. All right, let's see what we've got for tarot cards. We have the Star card in reverse, the Four of Wands in reverse, and the Sun in reverse. The Death card in reverse does not necessarily mean literal death. The Nine of Swords in reverse, and the Page of Cups. Wow. So what I'm seeing here is I see a lot of eyes. Look at that. A lot of eyes. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul. And then we end up with the dark night of the soul here. In reverse, however. So we have the eye here. We're looking at small regrets, longing, envy, protection, and then we're looking at anger. Dark path, learning from your mistakes. So I feel that somebody needs to do their due diligence It's important. I feel the I in this reading in pile number 2, I feel is very important. I feel like it's telling you to keep your eyes open and be aware. Your faith might be being tested, but also in the same time, you might be being told to be patient about something. Because here there is instability. Somebody's feeling unstable with their connections. This is usually seen as a family card, but this is more, from this deck, is more of a connections type situation. And then we had the feeling of feeling burned out here. I feel like somebody is going to be dealing with some type of a big change. Some type of a big change. And maybe all eyes are on you. Spirit just told me to say that. Maybe all eyes are on you. Maybe some are out of anger. Maybe some are out of envy. Some may be protective. Some may even want to be you. This dark path, we all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. But we learn from those mistakes, even if we do travel a dark path sometimes. You don't always have to stay on that dark path. Do your due diligence. Do your due diligence to get through this change that somebody is fearing and resisting. There's some sort of change. I feel like there is some sort of change. Letting go of, here, you're letting go. You might be feeling unstable because you've been holding on to communication that was negative communication, dark communication, communication that angered you. You have to let it go. Angered you. You're feeling burned out because you are dealing with maybe new people. And maybe these new people are all looking at you in different ways. You might feel burned out because new connections may be viewing you in different ways. Maybe you have taken the dark path at one point, and you have learned from your mistakes. You have small regrets, but you're leaving those small regrets behind. Look at this rabbit moving quickly past these snakes to get away from them. So I feel like maybe You were fearing this change. Be patient. I feel like you need to be patient. You're entering into a change where perhaps with others, where others may have heard things in a negative way because you had been down a dark path, and they may be viewing you in different ways. Some may be angry, some may be envious, some may be looking at you to protect you. And then you have this one where some may have small regrets about things they may have said about you in the past. They may be longing to be you. But the bottom line is you need to do your due diligence to do your best to learn from the mistakes you've already made and to grow from them. And don't fear this change. Don't fear the change. Don't be resistant to it either. Because this is a big change. This is not something small. This is big. Be patient. You need to be patient with this change. I feel that there needs to be patience here. All eyes are on you from different directions and for different reasons. Anger, envy, protection. You may have been feeling unstable because maybe somebody you felt close to said negative things. You're feeling burned out. You're feeling burned out maybe because some of these new people question you, and maybe their questions are not appropriate. And they may be questioning you because at some point in time you were on some type of a dark path that you are now learning from the mistakes that you made on that path. All eyes are on you. Whether they're angry, envious, protective, regretting, or longing to be you. All right, as I said, I pulled the Amazonite for this pile. Let us see what Amazonite is good for. Success, abundance. Amazonite is the hope stone. So I feel like even though all eyes are on you because of your past, the dark path you may have led in the past, but you have grown and learned. You did your due diligence to learn from your mistakes. I feel like you just need to be patient because you're going to have success and abundance come your way. All right, pile number 2. All right. Last but not least, pile number 3. If I can do this without my cloth moving on me, I'll be doing good. All right, pile number 3. If you chose with your astrology signs, you have Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, and Leo. If you did not choose using these signs, just know that the energies from these signs will most likely be present in this reading. And to make room, I have to get this stuff off my table. I do apologize. And as I said before, you may be drawn to more than one pile, and that is perfectly fine. You can be drawn to all 3 of them, for that matter. The crystal you chose for this pile is called Kambaba. 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 Kambaba Jasper. And the card for this pile is the Musician, Inspiration and Gratitude. And what we're looking at is an overall general idea of what next year is going to bring. Trying to make sure that you can see that. All right. I think this is the pile that has the extra tarot card. All right, let's look at the rest of these cards. So we have the Musician with Inspiration and Gratitude. Wonders. That's a pretty card. Pearl. Pearl. Hidden gem. Sorry if my lights. That kind of sort of looks like that pearl. Right there. Next we have Holy Gate. The doors of pure happiness will soon be opened. Put that in here. And lastly, we have Caution. See if I can move these up here and get this under here. Yes, because I'm pretty sure I have an extra tarot card here that I'm going to need room for. All right, pile number 3. 2 of Cups in reverse. Ace of Wands. I thought I had an extra tarot card. Page of Cups in reverse. Maybe it's this. Yep, it's in this one. We have the 6 of Wands. Oof. We have the Queen of Pentacles. These are in reverse. We have the Page of Wands. And we have the 5 of Cups. So let's see. What are we looking at here? Inspiration and gratitude. So, looking at the tarot, the Two of Cups, this looks like it may be a conflict between two people that leads to feelings of defeat. And the Ace of Wands is either passionate about creating something new or reviving old feelings. I feel like there's a lack of patience, though. And then we have the Page of Cups. So the whole top row, these three, make me feel like this is some sort of emotional connection. An emotional connection. Somebody is wanting to move forward. This page is clarifying this page in a sense of speaking. And somebody wanted to move forward with dreams of being connected to somebody. But that connection may have been broken because of this conflict. And in here, once again, we have the Five of Cups, which is a conflict. However, with this particular Five of Cups, 3 cups are knocked over, but there's still 2 cups standing. So there is somebody standing behind you. Somebody has your back. Proceed with caution when it comes to conflicts. I see where the problem lays. Here in the tarot is a lack of communication. So perhaps what needs to happen in order to avoid this conflict from happening is communication. It could be communication through music. The hidden gem, the pearl. Oh, the pearl. This may or may not apply to some of you. And I'm going to be dating myself, aging myself when I say this. But Janis Joplin is connected to the pearl. That's where the musician comes in at. Pearl. Janis Joplin. I'm getting Janis Joplin. Sorry, I apologize for getting Janis Joplin vibes. If you don't know who Janis Joplin is, I can say, you can look her up. I don't know why I'm bringing Janis Joplin into this other than she was a musician and she's associated with the term pearl. I can't remember if it was an album or what. A hidden gem. So maybe there is somebody that maybe this conflict is with somebody that be careful with the type of music you listen to because they may not like Janis Joplin. And the only reason that she came to mind was because of Pearl. This card right here. Because musician could have been any musician out there. Oh. Hold on. We have another musician. Holy Gate. Elvis. The Gates to Graceland Mansion. And Graceland is kind of a wonder. If you're not in the United States and you're watching this, it is, the last time I checked, it is the second most visited mansion in the United States. So maybe there's a conflict. Maybe this conflict that you're having here is related to music. And then we have the caution. Be cautious about having disagreements. I don't know why I'm getting music. Well, because I have the musician card came up. And so pile number 3, the musician is telling me that because the tarot cards is telling me that there's a lot of conflict taking place with those that you're connected to in one way or another. And the reason for that is because there's a lack of communication, whether you communicate verbally or whether you communicate using music. That is the problem I'm seeing here, is that there is no communication taking place. So I would strongly advise pile number 3 to communicate. However, the caution, the reason we have the caution here is, as I'm doing this reading, we are still in Mercury retrograde. So again, for you, pile number 3, think before you speak. And probably listen to the music before you play it for someone else to make sure that there's not something in that song that that might just upset somebody. Because here, somebody is feeling defeated. There was a conflict here between two people, and somebody is coming out of it feeling defeated. Maybe making an offering to correct those feelings, or moving. You're not able to move on to somebody new because you're still holding on to feelings for somebody here. And maybe your dream is to move on with somebody else, but there's conflict. And it might not necessarily be this conflict here. This may be a whole different conflict. Maybe other people are conflicted about you feeling defeated over the loss or the emotional disconnection you made here. The musician is actually, I know I had a little bit of fun with Pearl and Janis Joplin and the Holy Gate with the Gates of Graceland. But in all reality, the musician is telling you the key is to have communication, but at this moment in time, think before you speak. Because as I'm doing this and going into 2024, for about the first 2 weeks of 2024, we'll be in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde. And Mercury will go retrograde again in 2024. Don't think that once this shadow period's over with that you won't see Mercury retrograde again in 2024, because you most certainly will. So, to be quite honest and be quite frank, the best advice is always to be cautious and always think before you speak, regardless of Mercury retrograde. And I feel like here, what's happening is there's a lack of communication taking place. A lack of communication is what was taking place here. Communication can do wonders. Proper communication can do wonders. So I randomly put these crystals out, not knowing what cards are going to come up with them. And this is the Kambaba Jasper. It aligns your chakras. So there may be some chakras out of alignment here, especially the throat chakra, because we don't see the communication here. This is also good for improving energy flow. I hope you enjoy this. I hope that the new year brings you all abundance, a lot of abundance, a lot of wealth, a lot of love, a lot of peace. Yes, I will be live on Saturday. The last live of 2023. And I hope to see everybody there. I send much love and many blessings to everybody. As always, I'll see you back next time. Have a wonderful day.